place that is known for luxury shopping, modern architecture, and a lively night scene. It is the third most luxurious country in the world. It is the United Arab Emirates. UAE is also known for its two largest cities, Dubai and Abu Dhabi, that have millions of tourists each year. Most of the people are from other countries, and only 1/9 of the Emirates residents are citizens. Emiratis wear veils and long-sleeve robes, especially in summer. We all know that the official language of the UAE is Arabic. It is taught in schools, and native Emiratis speak the dialect of Gulf Arabic that is similar to that spoken in the surrounding countries, and we can forget that the English is also widely spoken. Emiratis tend to favor an indirect style of communication. Being tactful and less direct when communicating is appreciated. We are aware that every country has their own styles of approaching others, and it is also a way to show respect to each one another.
In UAE, the things they do is quite different from the others, and the way they do it is not malicious at all. It is just their culture and way of greeting each other. When a man greets another gentleman, it is most likely to have a light handshake, and sometimes a kiss on the nose or both cheeks is natural. When a woman greets a woman, either a friend or a family, they greet each other by kissing on the left cheek 3 times or touches their left cheek to the other woman's right cheek 3 times. But when a man greets a woman, touching is prohibited during the greetings in public. Instead, a woman may extend her sleeve-covered wrist or hand to be shaken. Note that always wait for the woman to initiate if at all. Small talk is common, indeed expected, and is often the prelude to business discussion. Business is conducted based on trust in the UAE and will fall short if individuals try to hurry on to business matters too hastily. Take the time to get to know your counterpart by asking general questions and showing an interest in them personally. Ask about their children, their school, sporting interest, trips abroad, and more. It may take a good few meeting and a restaurant visit before your counterpart will feel ready to move into any business transactions with you. Genuine flattery will never go amiss. Be aware of hierarchical structures and show your respect to those in higher positions. Use titles where appropriate. Never criticize Islam, the ruling classes, or local traditions. Never sit in a position that shows the soles of the feet. To do so is an insult, as feet are considered dirty.
Everyone needs and has personal space and boundaries. But personal space for Emiratis is indeed important, especially for members of the opposite sex. Touching between the members of the opposite sex is prohibited and offensive for them. But between men, it is common for them to see holding hands as it is sign of close friendship. Emiratis tend to favor direct eye contact in conversation. So if you have conversation with them, maintain eye contact with people for the same sex. Men should show courtesy and respect for women. Never make prolonged eye contact with women or compliment her appearance or dress. As stated earlier, it is not uncommon for men to greet other men with a kiss or nose rub. Members of the opposite sex do not embrace or kiss in public.
All gifts should be of high quality. A good perfume is acceptable even for men who take pride in appearance and status. But such a gift for a woman should be only be given by another woman. Present with personal touch that show thoughtfulness is very acceptable. Never give alcohol, pork products, knife, or dog-related items. As expected, people who are working in UAE or even have business with others are expected to meet each other on time. Filipino time is not applicable in this situation, but meetings do not intend to follow set schedules. It is also customary to remove your shoe before entering a carpeted room.
Religions are the most important aspects of Emirati life. Most of Emiratis are Sunni Muslims. This is where all social and political matters are driven by Sharia or Islamic law. However, if you visit the country, it is best if you avoid to comment or arguments about Islam with local or anyone. Aside from that, one of their practices is Ramadan. It is a holy month of fasting and prayers for Muslims. It is celebrated as the month where Muhammad received the initial revelation of the Quran, which is the holy book of Muslims. Muslims in UAE and even the ones who are outside the country do not eat or drink anything from dawn to dusk, and it lasted for a whole month. Any kind of sins such as vices and sexual activities is not allowed, and even chewing gum is prohibited. They do this every year to allow them to devote themselves to their faith and come close to Allah.
Customs of UAE. 1. Food. The food in UAE is a mix of Middle East and Asian flavors. The traditional foods are different in UAE, such as balalid, haris, archerish, and loki milk. But some dishes are consisting of rice, yogurt, dates, fish, etc. But pork is considered as taboo, where it is something that not acceptable to talk about or do. The pork is not eaten by Islams, but it is not illegal in the UAE. However, it is indeed hard to find. 2. Clothes. The malls in the UAE are consist of branded and latest fashion clothes, but most of the people prefers to wear traditional clothes. Men wears kandura, nial, rizar, kutra, and tabush, while women wears abaya, nigab, bikwar, pukara, and shila.
In celebration, they have many dances like Al-Ayala, also known as Yawala, which means a victory dance that is usually performed after a successful tribal war or field diving, while today it is performed in wedding and other special occasions. It is performed by 20 men and women along with a distinct Arabic music that have large and small drums, brass cymbals, and tambourines.
The values in UAE are also important. They respect heritage and cultural diversity. They respect the deep-rooted values and the rich heritage of UAE and seek to sustain them. They work on integrity, transparency, and accountability to create trust and credibility. There are a bunch of Filipinos who works in the UAE, specifically 679,819 Filipinos. Dubai is home to the largest Filipino OFWs in UAE and is followed by Abu Dhabi and Al Ain. It is probably because they offer a much higher rate in salaries, or maybe because it has work and leisure. Regardless of the reason in every OFW, UAE is such a modern and good place where it shows how they respect each other, how they are disciplined, and how they become successful. It is a place where people can look up to and learn such things by experience or not.